right shoulder, hop. Colors, ready, cut.
Right shoulder arms. Before the colors team can move, they must be at the carry position, or right shoulder arms. Moving to right shoulder arms can be part of the ceremony or can be executed prior to the beginning of a ceremony. For rifle bearers, on the command of execution arms of right shoulder arms, the rifle bearer will execute a 4-count movement. On count 1, the rifle bearer will sharply move the rifle diagonally across his body. The left hand will wrap around the rifle with the pinky finger just above the magazine well. The fingers of the right hand will be wrapped around the barrel with the index finger on top of the gas tube. The right forearm will remain in constant contact with the weapon during this first count. On count 2, the rifle bearer will place his hand on the top end of the stock. The fingers will wrap around the front of the stock, and the pad of the thumb will make contact with the middle joint of the index finger, so none of the stock is showing between the thumb and index finger. On count 3, the left hand will guide the rifle to the right shoulder with the fingers extended and joined and making contact at the bottom of the receiver. The thumb will be tucked into the palm. On count 4, the left hand will move back to the yellow stripe of the left leg. The fingers will form a C-fist on the way to the trouser seam. While in the right shoulder arms position, the lower portion of the right arm will be parallel with the marching surface, while the upper half of the arm will be in line with the rifle bearer's back. This will form a 90-degree angle. Keep the elbow tucked in so the muzzle of the weapon does not move behind the rifle bearer's head or out past the edge of his shoulder. For the first 3 counts, the rifle will remain 4 inches from the chest and on the same plane, so the muzzle and butt are the same distance from the body. For color bearers, on the intermediate command shoulder of right shoulder arms, the color bearer will quickly snap his right hand to the lift position. This is done by wrapping the thumb behind the staff while simultaneously extending and joining the fingers in front of the staff. On the command of execution arms of right shoulder arms, the color bearers will throw the staff vertically, bringing it up into the center line of the bearer's body. Use the left hand to place it in the cup of the harness. The right hand will not be raised higher than the color bearer's nose. This is accomplished by allowing the staff to slip upward through the right hand while being guided into the harness cup with the left hand. The bearer will turn the right wrist away from his face so that the middle knuckles will be facing toward his nose. Relax the forearm so the right elbow hangs naturally. After the team has completed their movements to right shoulder arms, the next command is given only for the color bearers. On the command of execution cut of colors ready cut, the color bearers will sharply move their left hand from the cup of the harness to the yellow stripe of their trousers, forming a C-fist on the way to the left leg.
Present. Hop.
Present arms. There are several times when the color guard needs to present arms. The most common times are presenting the colors to the host of a ceremony, for the national anthem, and for the Pledge of Allegiance. The Army color guards never dip the national colors in salute. Unit colors are dipped to commanders of that unit and commanders of parent units. For further guidance on presenting colors, see Army Regulation 600-25, Salutes, Honors, and Visits of Courtesy. For rifle bearers, on the command of execution arms of present arms, the rifle bearer will execute a 3-count movement. Counts 1 and 2 move the rifle from the right shoulder to the position of port arms. Notice the rifle is moved around the headgear using the right wrist and forearm, not by moving the head. The left hand will be wrapped around the rifle with the pinky finger just above the magazine well. The right hand will grab the top of the stock at the comb with your wrists cocked slightly forward. On count 3, move the rifle sharply downward into a vertical position so it comes to rest centered on the rifle bearer's chest and the front sight post is level with the eyes. The fingers of the right hand will be extended and joined on the right side of the stock. The thumb will be tucked in and in contact with the stock at the comb. The entire weight of the rifle is supported with the left hand. Like all other rifle movements, the 4-inch space between the bearer's chest and the rifle is maintained throughout. Be sure the rifle remains perpendicular to the marching surface. For color bearers, on the command of execution arms of present arms, the color bearers will dip the staff by moving his right hand approximately 6 to 9 inches forward from the vertical position. 3 seconds will pass from the beginning to the end of the movement. If the colors are being presented for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance, they will dip on the first note of the music or the first word of the pledge, not on the command of present arms. The command is for the rifles only. For the rifles, on the command of execution arms of order arms, the rifle bearers will execute a 4-count movement. On count 1, the rifle bearer will sharply move the rifle diagonally across his body. Notice the rifle is moved around the headgear using the right wrist and forearm, not by moving the head. The left hand will wrap around the rifle with the pinky finger just above the magazine well. On count 2, the fingers of the right hand will be wrapped around the barrel with the index finger on top of the gas tube. The right forearm will remain in constant contact with the weapon during the first count. Count 3 moves the rifle sharply down to the ground. The stock of the rifle is on line with your toes and approximately 1 to 2 inches away from your right foot. The fingers of the right hand are extended and joined on the right side of the rifle at the gas tube. The thumb runs parallel with the fingers on the other side of the weapon. The left hand guides the rifle across the body to the ground in such a way that when the rifle hits the ground, the left forearm is parallel to the marching surface. The fingers will be extended and joined with the thumb tucked behind the palm. The left hand is positioned so the fingers are in front of the rifle's flash suppressor. On count 4, the left hand is sharply moved to the yellow stripe on the left leg, forming a C fist. For color bearers, on the command of execution arms of right shoulder arms, the colors will return to the vertical position by moving the right hand rearward 6 to 9 inches. If the colors are returning to the right shoulder arms at the conclusion of the national anthem or Pledge of Allegiance, they will begin moving on the last note of the music or the last word of the pledge. 3 seconds will pass from the beginning to the end of this movement. For the color bearers, on the command of execution arms of order arms, the color bearers execute a 3-count movement. On count 1, the color is lifted from the harness cup with the right hand while the left hand grasps the bottom. Move the staff horizontally to the right with the right hand remaining level with the shoulder. The left hand holds the bottom of the staff with the forearm remaining parallel to the marching surface. On count 2, pause in place. On count 3, the colors are lowered so the bottom of the staff is approximately 4 to 6 inches above the marching surface. The right hand maintains its position on the staff while the left hand releases the staff but supports it while it's being lowered. Gently lower the staff to the ground by allowing it to slip through your right hand. Tuck the colors between the staff and the right arm, then re-grasp the staff with the bear paw. The left forearm should be parallel to the marching surface, with the fingers and thumb of the left hand extended and joined. The next command is for the color bearers only. On the intermediate command ready of colors ready cut, the color bearers sharply move their left hand to cover the cup of the harness. The fingers and thumb will be extended and joined with the fingers pointing straight down. On the command of execution cut of colors ready cut, the left hand is sharply moved to the yellow stripe on the left leg, forming a C fist.